Good morning, everybody. My name is Eddie Lopez. I work with the Town of Cicero Community Outreach Department. And before we start, I just would like us all to give a round of applause to the bold and courageous youth that stepped up to the plate. Something that I would not normally be able to do. Once again, my name is Eddie Lopez. I work for the Town of Cicero Community Outreach Department, where we do a lot of youth programs, both prevention and intervention. Many people in this room have been through our programs already. Also, this is Ishmael Vargas, if he could raise his hand. I think one of the most important programs that we run out of our department is the Parent Patrol program, which if you've been living in Cicero for the last 9 years, then you definitely know who they are. If you don't know yet, then you will know. They're the moms with the highlighter vests that hang out around the schools, right? They're there for me and you at the end of the day. Those are a volunteer program that started roughly 8 years ago. It was a vision given to President Larry Dominic, Ishmael Vargas, a collective conversation between 7 parents at the time. What can we do? How can we get involved to keep our community safer? That was launched 8 years ago with 7 to 8 parents. Today, currently at 300 plus parents, correct? We have also launched the Juvenile Safety Patrol, which is the youth component of that program. We just launched this at Morton East last week. It includes 12 to 13 young people who have stepped up to the plate to be the eyes and the ears of the community. It's a program that collectively has worked for the very thing that we're talking about here this morning. This is obviously a countrywide epidemic that this is happening, not only in other states, but it's happening here. I think the reason why we highlighted the last one, right, with Catalina Garcia, the reason why we highlighted that situation, because Catalina was from Cicero. Catalina was a Ciceronian. Catalina was one of us. Catalina was one of our sisters, right? One of our aunts, one of our future mothers, future family members, right? And she's not here no more because of a situation like that occurring, unfortunately. And that's why we're here this morning, to point out the importance of each and every one of us playing that vital role in keeping us all safe, the eyes and the ears. This is not just a job for one person. We can't point the fingers at the town. We can't point the fingers after the fact at the police, that they arrived too late. We are on the front lines of defense. We are the front lines to what happens in the community. 911 is after the fact that a tragedy took place, but it's up to us, all of us right here, right, to be the eyes and to be the ears. Oh, I'm sorry, can we go back? I'm so sorry. So we brought up 2 points that I wanted to touch on, right? Snitching versus bringing forth vital information. There's a stigma and a stereotype behind that word snitching. Criminals have demonized that word snitching, utilizing it to their benefits, right? To instill fear in me and you so that we can turn a blind eye. The very reason why other communities right outside of Cicero, Little Village, back of the yards, Pilsen, Inglewood, the very reason why those communities are ravaged with violence the way they are, because of that very little word right there that they've embedded in people's mind to turn a blind eye. But I'm here to ask you, when do we call it snitching, and when do we call it coming forth with vital information that could save lives? So I'm going to paint a scenario, 30-second scenario for each and every one of you. Put yourself in this predicament. I'm at the Cicero Community Park and I'm hanging out with my daughter. And I witnessed a white van roll up, and the side door opens up and a 200-pound man comes running out. And there you are on the slide, maybe a couple years younger than you are right now. And this man runs up to you and he snatches you off that slide, and you're screaming and hollering for help. And he shoves you in that van, closes the door, and he drives away. And I witnessed everything he was wearing. I witnessed the van. I even got a chance to see his license plates. 5 minutes later, the park is surrounded by police. Your mother's there crying with your dad, asking for help. And at that point, do I walk away with too much pride and say, well, I didn't see nothing. I ain't no snitch. When do we draw the line in the sand? How would you feel if you were that victim being snatched up and taken and kidnapped? Would you want me to step up with vital information that could bring you back home safely? Or would you want me to walk by the code of the streets and say, well, I'm not a snitch. That's none of my business. You think about that one and you let that one soak in. Because this is what we're talking about today. This is the importance of this. You could save lives. And many of those incidents that you guys witnessed on this screen, those school shootings, Many of those could have been avoided if somebody spoke up, because somebody saw something, right? It just didn't happen. Somebody that morning, earlier that day, they saw something that was suspicious. They saw something that didn't sit right within them. But for whatever reason, they chose not to speak up. And incidents like that took place. Give me the next slide. We talk about bullying, and I think this is so important, especially to all of us, right? Because bullying goes a long way. One of the main reasons why incidents like school shootings are happening is because of that very reason, right? Somebody is picking on somebody, pushing them to the brink, to the breaking point, where they're coming back and they're taking it out on everybody, right? So I saw a movie, American Sniper. I know there's a lot of young people in this room, but there was a part of that movie that stuck to my head when I watched it, right? And they kind of broke it down. It was a father talking to his two sons and how he would not tolerate bullies. And they broke it down in three categories: a wolf, a sheep, and a sheepdog. So when I go through this, I want you to listen, wrap your minds around this conversation, and ask yourself, who are you? Because there's one of these types in this room. Everybody, right, is one of these types in this room. You have the wolf. The wolf is the bully. He's the predator. He's the one that picks on the vulnerable, the ones that can't stand up for themselves. You have the sheep. He is the vulnerable one, right? The one that might be alone, that doesn't have friends, that is different than everyone else. Is it fair that the wolf could pick on the sheep? We have wolves in this room. You know who you are. We have sheep in this room. You know who you are. Is it fair for that to happen? For bullying to take place? And why? Why? Because they're different? Because they look different? Because they speak different? Because they can't afford the new shoes and the new clothes and the new haircuts? Because they might have grew up in Mexico and now they don't speak English like you speak it? Or because maybe they don't have the luxury of a washing machine and a drying machine to wash their clothes and come with fresh clothes every day? Maybe they smell a little different. Is that reason for us to push people beyond that breaking point, right? And then we have the sheepdog. And ask yourself, are you a sheepdog? A sheepdog is the individual who's blessed with an aggression to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. So ask yourself, which one of those are you? Are you that wolf? Are you that sheep? Are you that sheepdog? And there's one that's not up there, but I'm going to point it out. Or are you that spectator that witnesses it happening, right, but for whatever reason does not get involved? Or maybe you're quick to pull out your camera, right, and try to capture a world star video, right? Who are you? The reason why school shootings be happening is because situations like that. You have the wolf and you have the spectator, those who are not standing in the gap. And that's why things are happening. So here we are to plead to use this morning, right? Everyone you see up here today is a part of a big movement. This movement just didn't start today or this morning. This movement's been happening. It started with parents. It started with the town working in collaboration with the police. It started also with the school working in collaboration with the town and the police. And then it continued to grow from there, getting the parents, your parents involved. And then it continued from there. And now the movement of the youth getting involved, right? How many of you are willing to step up and be those sheepdogs, be those eyes and ears to help prevent tragedies like that taking place in our community? How many of you? So at the end of this slide, we left our information up there, right? Just our phone number. Give us a call. If you feel you might be that sheep, you feel you might be that sheepdog, hey, if you even feel like you're that wolf, we'll even take the time to talk to you too. That's fine, right? But we're going to leave our contact information at the end. If you want to become part of this movement, right? This is a team of people. We're moving together collectively. This is our neighborhood. This Cicero belongs to us, to all of us. We all live here. So it's important and it's vital that we are the eyes and the ears of Cicero. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to talk about a situation that happened to me a couple weeks ago. On March 14th, I participated with many others that are in here today in a presentation about standing up against violence. Throughout the presentation, we were all told the importance of stepping up with vital information about suspicious activity that can possibly save lives. I carry a sincere passion for the well-being of all of you. I I don't ever want to witness or hear about a tragedy taking place in our school like the ones we have talked about this morning. So I want to take this time to be brutally honest. Regardless of how people have treated me and regardless of the names people have called me, I don't regret what I did. If my actions are going to help save someone's life, I will do it all over again. Thank you.